universe.
Today we're exploring amazing AAA Steam games under $5 with huge stories and surprising depth. Remember to like the video and subscribe to support the channel. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Let's kick it off with a giant. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is a massive fantasy RPG with sword fights, monsters, and one of the best cast of characters in gaming. You play as Geralt, a monster hunter trying to find his adopted daughter, and the story keeps getting bigger the more you play. The world feels alive with consequences, because the decisions you make actually change quests and outcomes. The game throws you into detailed environments like war-torn villages, creepy swamps, and beautiful cities. Even after years, its graphics and storytelling feel powerful. There are hours and hours of side quests, Gwent card battles, treasure hunts, and emotional drama. At $3.99, this is basically giving away a full epic adventure for the price of fries. Middle-earth Shadow of War. If you love Lord of the Rings, you should absolutely jump into Shadow of War. You step into a dark, violent Middle-earth where you take on orc armies and control them with supernatural powers. The real hook here is the Nemesis system. Every enemy orc has a personality, memories, and their own motives. They remember battles and come back stronger if they escape. The game lets you build your own army and take over fortresses, which feels exciting every time. Combat is smooth and flashy with sword slashes, acrobatic jumps, and deadly finishing moves. The open world gives you tons to do, and the scale of battles feels huge. For $5, conquering Mordor feels like a bargain of legend. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Fallen Order gives you a complete cinematic Jedi adventure. You play as Cal Kestis, a young Padawan trying to survive after the Jedi were hunted down. The lightsaber combat is fun and weighty. You block blaster shots back at enemies, unleash force powers, and feel like a real Jedi learning to fight again. There are great planets to explore with puzzles, platforming, and hidden secrets. The story connects to the larger Star Wars universe with awesome characters and beautiful environments. From forests to snowy mountains, the movement feels smooth as you run across walls and leap over gaps like a Jedi ninja. This is one of the best Star Wars games in years, and a huge discount makes it a must-play. Watch Dogs 2. Watch Dogs 2 is a bright and goofy open-world hacking playground set in a version of San Francisco. You join a hacker group called DedSec and use gadgets, drones, and smartphones to break into systems and mess with enemies. You can decide how to play, sneak around silently, or cause chaos by hacking cars and robots. The city feels colorful and full of life. Missions usually give funny and creative problem-solving moments, like controlling a giant remote control car or dropping cranes on guards. Driving around the Bay Area is fun too. Even if you are not a technical expert, the game makes hacking feel cool and simple. It is surprising to get such a big Ubisoft game for $5. Just Cause 3. If you want pure chaos, Just Cause 3 is perfect. Rico Rodriguez returns with a wingsuit, a parachute, and a grappling hook that lets you fly around and attach anything to anything. You can bring down statues, explode fuel tanks, and chain enemy vehicles together for fun results. The setting is a sunny Mediterranean island filled with secret military bases and beautiful landscapes. The story is simple: overthrow a dictator. But the real joy here comes from experimenting with explosions and physics. It feels like a giant action movie where you are always the hero. For $3, you get a fun sandbox that wants you to break everything, and that is always worth the price.
is what it means to be Sun Yi!
Sleeping Dogs Definitive Edition. Sleeping Dogs drops you into the neon streets of Hong Kong as an undercover cop named Wei Shen. You work your way inside a dangerous criminal gang while trying to stay true to your duty. The hand-to-hand combat is one of the best parts of the game. You punch, kick, counter hits, and use environmental takedowns, like slamming enemies into fish tanks and walls. Driving around the city is fast and fun, with street races and police chases everywhere. The Definitive Edition includes all DLC, upgrades to visuals, and more missions to enjoy. The world is full of street food, markets, and action-packed side quests. For $3, this crime drama is a total win for anyone who loves action adventures. Far Cry 4. Far Cry 4 takes you to a beautiful fictional Himalayan region called Kyrat. You play as a Jay Gale and end up stuck in a civil war against a flashy and wild villain, Pagan Min. The open world is filled with mountains, wildlife, and dangerous soldiers. You can ride elephants into battle, glide through the air with a wingsuit, and explore hidden caves. The shooting feels smooth and powerful, and you can choose stealth or loud explosions depending on your mood. Outposts and enemy bases give you a ton of ways to approach fights. Co-op also lets a friend join in on the madness. For a little under $5, this game offers a giant map full of adventures. Doom 2016. Doom 2016 is all about fast, aggressive gunfights that make you feel unstoppable. You are the Doom Slayer, waking up in a Mars facility overrun by demons. The guns feel heavy and powerful, especially when you switch between shotguns, rifles, and energy weapons without stopping to reload too often. The game rewards movement. You jump, punch, and blast demons non-stop, and glory kills finish enemies in brutal, slow-motion attacks. The heavy rock soundtrack pushes you forward in a non-stop action rhythm. Levels are filled with secrets and alternate paths, so exploring feels rewarding. This game still looks great years after release. $4 for this much demon-smashing fun feels like a jackpot for shooter fans. Dead Space 2. Dead Space 2 gives horror fans a huge thrill ride. You return as Isaac Clarke, but this time in a city-sized space station full of terrifying necromorphs. The game mixes dark hallways, sudden screams, and body horror with tight action. Cutting off enemy limbs with futuristic tools remains the core strategy, and it still feels scary every time a creature jumps out. The story explores Isaac's trauma and adds stronger character moments than the first game. Zero-gravity sections let you float around and fight enemies in fresh angles. The atmosphere is creepy and detailed, with flickering lights and spooky audio. For $4, this sci-fi horror classic still delivers plenty of chills and a strong campaign.
No more Batman.
Batman Arkham Knight. Arkham Knight lets you glide through Gotham City as the Dark Knight in a huge open world filled with criminals. The combat is smooth and stylish, with punches, dodges, and gadgets that let you feel like a master martial artist. You also get to drive the Batmobile, which adds fast chases and tank-style battles against enemy drones. The story focuses on fear, secrets, and Batman facing new enemies he may not be ready for. Gotham looks amazing with rain-soaked streets and glowing lights everywhere. There are tons of side quests featuring classic villains. For only $4, this is a giant superhero game that still feels modern and exciting. Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor Game of the Year Edition. Shadow of Mordor is the earlier game that introduced the Nemesis system. You play as Talion, a ranger brought back from death with wraith powers, teaming up with the spirit of an elf lord. The open-world combat mixes stealth, sword fighting, and magical strikes that blast enemies. The Nemesis system makes even basic orcs turn into personal rivals who remember you and grow stronger over time. Climbing and parkour feel smooth as you explore ruined fortresses and lava-filled landscapes. This Game of the Year edition includes extra missions and runes that improve your abilities. For $4, you can see the origin of one of the coolest gameplay ideas in modern action games and have a great adventure in Mordor. Batman, Arkham Asylum, Game of the Year Edition. Arkham Asylum is where the legendary Arkham series started strong. The game traps Batman inside an asylum full of criminals, and the Joker takes over the entire place. You sneak through dark hallways and vents, taking down enemies silently or fighting them head-on with the well-loved free-flow combat system. Detective mode helps you track clues and solve puzzles, which makes you feel smart while staying in superhero mode. The environment design is dark and creepy, with amazing voice acting from Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill. Even after so many years, it still holds up as a top superhero game. Getting this classic for less than $4 is a great chance to play an important piece of gaming history. Batman, Arkham City, Game of the Year Edition. Arkham City expands everything from Asylum into a full open world. A huge chunk of Gotham is now turned into a massive walled prison district. Batman can glide through rooftops, punch bad guys on the streets, and tackle missions involving famous villains like Mr. Freeze, Penguin, and Two-Face. The side quests feel exciting instead of filler, and the city is packed with secrets from the Riddler. The combat is faster and more complex, giving you many gadgets that link smoothly into combos. There is also a powerful main story with twists and emotional moments. For under $5, this version adds extra DLC like Harley Quinn's Revenge, making it a complete superhero package.
Bound by blood.
F.E.A.R. 3. F.E.A.R. 3 mixes first-person shooting with spooky horror elements. It continues the story of psychic brothers Point Man and Paxton Fettel, who both have different playstyles. One uses guns and slow-motion combat, while the other uses creepy supernatural powers. You can even play the campaign in co-op, which brings a fun twist to the scares. The game has a dark atmosphere full of sudden surprises and tense fights. Enemies are smart and aggressive, so the action keeps you alert. Even though the focus leans more on shooting than pure fear this time, it still delivers some very memorable, creepy moments. $4 makes it a solid pick if you want both action and horror in one package. Mad Max. Mad Max gives you a big wasteland to explore with your own customizable car called the Magnum Opus. You fight raiders in dusty deserts, storm strongholds, and upgrade your gear as you survive tough battles. The car combat is the highlight, with ramming, explosive harpoons, and wild chases through sandstorms. Hand-to-hand fighting uses a punch and counter system similar to Arkham, but scrappier and more brutal. The world is empty in a good way, giving a strong post-apocalyptic vibe. Scrap you collect becomes the key to upgrading weapons, armor, and your ride. For $5, you get tons of side activities and huge exploration in a world inspired by the iconic movies. Injustice, Gods Among Us, Ultimate Edition. Here's a great fighter for superhero fans. Injustice, Gods Among Us puts DC heroes and villains in intense battles with a dramatic story. Superman isn't acting like a friendly symbol anymore, and Batman leads the resistance. The roster has characters like Wonder Woman, Flash, Joker, Green Lantern, and more. Fights feel fast and punchy, and you can interact with the environment to smash enemies into walls or throw objects at them. The Ultimate Edition includes all the DLC characters and extra skins, so you get the full experience for only $3. It also has offline and online modes, so you can play casually with friends or try harder fights. It's a fun way to settle the age-old question, who wins in a superhero showdown? Tomb Raider 2013. This reboot of Tomb Raider shows the rise of a young Lara Croft as she learns to survive on a dangerous island. The game mixes bow combat, climbing, sneaking around, and solving ancient puzzles. The story gives Lara strong emotional growth as she goes from scared explorer to confident hero. The island has forests, mountains, and creepy temples that hide collectibles and secrets. The survival tone keeps you alert as you craft gear and upgrade skills. The set pieces can get wild, like escaping burning buildings and dodging falling rocks. For $3, this is a polished action-adventure game that kicked off a whole new Tomb Raider era, and it still looks awesome today. Rise of the Tomb Raider 20-year celebration. Rise of the Tomb Raider expands the reboot by sending Lara into snowy Siberian landscapes filled with hidden tombs. This game focuses a lot more on exploration and puzzle-filled tombs, which fans loved. You get deeper crafting, new gear like climbing axes and rope arrows, and more dynamic combat options with stealth or full action. The story focuses on Lara seeking answers about her past, with a bigger mystery involving immortality. The 20-year celebration edition includes extra DLC story missions, outfits, and a survival mode. The environments are beautiful and packed with reasons to explore. Under $5 feels like a great price for such a large adventure full of danger and discovery.
To stay human.
Deus Ex, Human Revolution, Director's Cut. Human Revolution gives you a cyberpunk world where humans upgrade their bodies with mechanical parts called augmentations. You play as Adam Jensen, a security expert who becomes a superhuman after a violent attack. The game gives tons of choices. You can sneak through vents, hack computers, or use advanced weapons for loud shootouts. Conversations and decisions change how characters treat you and create different outcomes. The gold and black art style makes everything look stylish and futuristic. The director's cut version fixes boss fights and adds commentary and visual improvements. It's a smart action RPG for players who love mixing stealth, story, and technology themes. At $3, the amount of depth you get here is impressive. Deus Ex, Mankind Divided. Mankind Divided continues. Adam Jensen's journey in a world full of political tension between augmented and non-augmented people. The environments feel detailed and give multiple ways to complete missions. You can hack security systems, use cloaking, stun enemies, or go full cyber ninja mode. Exploration gives rewards like XP and upgrades, so sneaking through every corner can feel satisfying. The story goes deeper into conspiracy themes, with morally gray decisions throughout the narrative. The stealth mechanics feel smooth thanks to powerful augmentations. Prague, the main hub city, looks gorgeous and filled with people and side missions. For under $5, this game offers a stylish sci-fi adventure with clever level design. And there you go, 20 huge AAA games that cost less than $5 right now. Let me know in the comments which one you're grabbing first, or if I missed any awesome deals. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more cheap game finds, and share this with a friend who loves bargains. Thanks for watching, and happy gaming.